Hello YouTube, and welcome back to episode 8 of Kerbal Space Program. So you guys might be able to tell by how much science I have 305 right now in my money that I actually did a little bit of grinding while you guys while I wasn't recording. And basically what I did is I took a rocket, launched it way into deep space, like just straight up almost, and it did a bunch of science and then returned it. But I might show you guys a couple clips right now if I have any. But it was a pretty painful mission. Like, the biggest part about sending a rocket super far into the sky is it has to come back down, and it's usually coming super fast. So obviously when you start to do an extreme elliptical orbit like this one, it's gonna be very slow out here. You're gonna be moving slowly, but as you come closer and closer, you're actually falling, so you're gaining speed, and by the time you get here, you're going extremely fast. So re-entry is probably the scariest part. You have to kind of like trim it so it's just barely in the atmosphere, that you're not like smashing into it. So the method that I use to actually come back down is known as aerobraking, and just give you guys an idea of like how extreme this is. By the time I came back into the atmosphere, I was going about 3,200 and about 30 meters per second. And that is how you air brake. Of course, I got fuel as well, but eventually my orbit's going to get lower and lower, and I'll be slow enough to actually land. In order to get through the atmosphere without burning up, it was kind of a pain, but I eventually got it done. It took like 8 hours almost just to slow down enough to get it onto the ground. The reason that I did that is because I don't want to have to like grind for these points anymore, so I'm just going to be able to come right in here and unlock some stuff. This is the one I'm looking at right now because those are some really big engines, and those could probably help me punch the atmosphere quite a bit. But at the same time, this little thing here will help me move my fuel around between the tanks, and that can actually help a lot. So this is important. I'm gonna go ahead and unlock this one for sure. And then this one, there's also a ginormous fuel tank right here. That's pretty important as well. Wait, hold on, I can't research it. I need this one too. Oh, screw that. Cannot research technology over 100 science at this level, so I don't know what level means. I'm kind of thinking maybe this is the level that it's talking about. These little missions right here are, I think, the storyline sort of the game, because you kind of have to do these ones. You can't just decline them, and you only get a new one when you complete the first one. So maybe those are the levels it's talking about. I'm not sure. Either way, like, I have to accept it, right? Okay, so explore the moon. I think I have to just orbit it or something. So I'm gonna use this rocket once again to build something to go orbit the moon, and then come back and see if I can upgrade my stuff. Alright guys, so this is my my payload as you would have it. This is what I'm gonna attach to the top of the booster, which I'm gonna go grab right now. And I think what I'm gonna start doing is I'm actually gonna start naming my rockets. And considering this is gonna be one of the like first official launches to the moon, I'm gonna go ahead and call it Pioneer. This will be the first official launch to the moon. Let's go ahead and raise that up out of the ground first of all. There we go. Alright, so now I just need to go check my staging. And what I'm actually gonna do is, because you know how usually when I launch this booster it kinda like drops down and then starts to go. What I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna go ahead and make another launch for these. So what's gonna happen now is my boosters are gonna launch, and then after a little while, then I'm gonna go ahead and release it, and then it's gonna go straight up instead of like kind of dipping down and potentially smashing my engine. Oh yeah, that is much better. That looked good. Yeah. I mean, I love this engine. This thing's perfect. Kind of forgot to put the stabilization on though. That's fine. Hopefully. Coming up on my first separation. So perfect. The tip of my rocket is wiggling. Put the throttle down just a bit. It doesn't mess with too much. I really have no idea why it's doing that. Or I think the atmosphere was kind of messing with the tip of my rocket for some reason. And by atmosphere, I mean the air hitting it. Main booster separation. I was just gonna fall back to the atmosphere and start throttling down just a bit. I also, for some reason, haven't been able to select my orbit to make a trajectory node. I don't even know if I can. You guys might not know what I'm talking about, but the new company bought Kerbal, I think, and then they did a little update. That's what Enhanced Edition is. It's been a little bit more glitchy than the original game. Ooh, I got new stuff. Radio in, anti-normal, normal. What? When did I unlock that? Because it used to just be these two. I don't know when this came into play. Who am I using? Jebediah? Oh, I wonder if it's because I got new stars. Okay, I didn't go around it 6 times. I don't know what this thing's talking about. I only went around once. But either way, let's check our orbit. It's getting close. Oh man, I just totally added space junk. I didn't mean to do that. That little back piece is gonna be orbiting now. This sucks. Oh well, that's space for you. So now I'm gonna extend my orbit this direction, which is where this is gonna be by the time I get there, right? Right. Actually, the moon should be here. Where was it when I started? Here? It might be overshot by the time I get there, but let's see. Oh, what? See, this is another thing that I'm talking about. Like, ever since they did the Enhanced Edition, I've been getting these weird orbit lines. So in fact, I had the same problem with the when I launched my rocket straight up. It like randomly kept going into orbit with the sun. The old trajectory lines are way better. The moon. Oh, there you go, right there. That is awesome. Look at how stupid these orbit lines are. There's no way that if I went way out here, I'm still gonna be in orbit with the moon. No way. It's gonna be Kerbin at that point. Maybe even Minimus, dude. I'm not. Look how dumb that is. They need to update, bro. So bad. Alright, so I think this counts as an orbit, right? Can I check that actually? Go to my contracts. Orbit, moon. Am I doing that or not? I can't tell. I might not be because it's in the ground here. You have to burn. Let's see, which way is it? Radial out, I believe. How much am I have to burn though? That's the question, because I gotta have enough fuel to get back to Kerbin. Okay, so we're doing a super low flyby. Yeah, so that was our flyby of the moon. Now, while I'm still within its orbit here, I'm going to start doing my science, which I have on board. I've obviously got my materials bay because these things are glorious. 50. Oh. But this is also pretty cool right here. I'll show you guys. So first of all, I got some temperature gauges on the outside of it, which I could go do for 16 science. Those are pretty good for those, for the temperature gauges. But then I can also go ahead and open this, and voila, I got more science inside there. Alright, cool, all the science is done. Now I just want to do a crew report real quick as well. 10 science. See, this is why I need to do these. Like, I keep forgetting to do those, but anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and close that up again, first of all. And then my orbit should eventually fall out of moon orbit and back into Kerbin orbit, in which case I can then slow my orbit and come back to Kerbin. I think Jebediah has been in. No, what is this? Hold on. By the time I get out here, I guarantee that just like the moon, I'm not gonna be in orbit with Kerbin. It's gonna fall out into orbit with the sun. I guarantee it. What is wrong with this game right now? Like, the orbit lines are being stupid. Normally what you want to do is come out to this point out here and then slow down to get this point closer, but I would have fallen out of orbit if I had gone that far out. Guaranteed. So I'm gonna let that get closer. Then I'm gonna shut it off. Then I will go out there because I don't want to accidentally fall out of orbit with my home planet. Bye, stage. You're gonna be stuck in orbit too. Space junk. I can barely even see that one running. Is it on? Hold on. There we go. Okay, so what I want to do is get this one maybe around 50,000, like just below the atmosphere, but not too far. Getting close. 52,000. That's pretty good. So that's going to be within the atmosphere. That way the wind is going to start catching me. But I don't want to go too deep because then the atmosphere is too thick and it'll just rip my ship apart. So I fly by you, you fly by me. Is that how this works? Okay. And by the way, these red lines here, they're like connection to my satellites. So if I wanted to transmit my data, like the science, back, I could. And if it's red like that, I get less science out of it. But I bring my ships back anyway, so it doesn't matter. Should I just go max thrust? Because I got quite a bit of fuel. And this is one of the smaller engines, so it's more efficient. Oh yeah, that's gonna be just fine. I need to start using my fuel though, because I'm going fast. I'm almost 3,000 meters per second. Surprisingly, I don't see anything really like heating up to the point it's gonna explode. I was having troubles with that the other day, like big time. Okay, still not quite down there yet. I'll start saving my fuel even more until I need it. Is this gonna touch down? Oh boy, we are going really fast. Getting a little bit thicker in the atmosphere too. What is going on here? Never really seen it do that before. I feel like, wow, is it really gonna do that? It'd be so okay. Nothing's getting hot. What is that, my engine? I'd imagine that's my engine. It's not a big deal if that gets hot. Gotta ditch it anyways. My predicament is if I max thrust this thing, it's gonna get even hotter because I'm burning it as well. Maybe I should do that and then just ditch the stage and let it explode. Oh, is that my coupler? Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and max thrust. Let it overheat. And then once it's out of fuel, bye Felicia. Look at it go. I think another thing is those fuel tanks, or those engines and stuff, they're pretty aerodynamic, so they kind of don't help you slowing down, but this flat surface will help me slow down quite a bit. Okay, coming down, I'm still slowing down. Go ahead and pop the drag chutes. Slow back down because we're getting close to the ground. All parachutes deployed, going 3 meters per second. I wasn't expecting that. Plus 136 science. Dudes, I got reputation before. I know that. But I'm thinking maybe it's because he's in a orange chute, so he can't really gain much. I don't know what I'm talking about, dude. Really? Return to Kerbin from orbiting the moon. Incomplete. How's that incomplete? Do I really need to do that again? I think what I'm gonna do is just strip off all the science and then just put a fuel tank there. That way I don't have to worry about my fuel when I'm decelerating to orbit the moon. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. Da, 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 dum. Okay. Alright, so the name of the ship is Columbus. Because we all know, damn straight, Columbus was not the first one here, but it got credited with it. Just like this is going to be the first one to get credited with orbiting the moon. Wasn't the first, but yeah, hey, whatever. Why are all my ships so dingle-dangly? Yeah, Jesus. This almost looks inappropriate to put on YouTube. Stop flopping around like that, you weirdo. Got it. Okay. So it doesn't even look like you're in the atmosphere right there. But you are. That's just wild. Okay, I can hear it. It's starting to slow down a lot. Also, I don't think I left any space junk this launch. Pretty sure everything came back down to the atmosphere, so that's good. Seems fast, but should be safe. Alright, cool. So that was a pretty awesome little mission there. Now, the first one paid for itself in science, but this one should have paid for itself in cash. Let's go and turn back on the HUD and find out. 1,000. Oh my god. Look how much money we have. We almost a million. 1 XP gain too, sweet. So we're actually got stuff for that one. Alright, what's our next mission? We have enough data on the moon to attempt a landing, or we could stage one. Up to you. I don't think we could stage one, that'd be funny though. Oh man, I thought like for sure that those missions or whatever, the levels that it's talking about, maybe it's saying like I can't do this because I haven't done enough of these. You know, that makes sense. So you're not just like grinding down one path trying to get the good stuff at the end. It wants you to do more of them. So what do I need? Fairings would be awesome, plus the tricoupler. So for sure the fairings and the tricouplers, that's what I want. Research at this level, at this level, at this level. Come on, dude. There's still some things I don't understand about this game, and it's got a couple bugs or whatever that's more recent. I'm not too sure when those started showing up, but the orbit lines they don't work properly. Anyways, guys, I'm heading for the moon. Hit subscribe if you want to see when I get there. Hit the bell to be notified of my episodes when I come out with them. I'll see you in the next one. Drive sideways.